Galactic Deathworlders thought they were apex predators until Earthlings arrived. HFY Sci-Fi, 1,500 words. For thousands of standard cycles, the title of apex predator in the galaxy belonged to the Deathworlders. From Valkyrie war beasts that hunted sentient prey for sport to the Gorhak, whose acidic blood and quadruple-jointed limbs made them nightmares in close combat, every civilization on the Galactic Council feared the Deathworld species. Each was forged in gravity-crushing worlds, atmospheres laced with toxins, and ecosystems that treated survival as a daily blood sport. The Deathworlders walked into negotiations like kings. They served as mercenaries, bounty hunters, enforcers of disputed treaties. Even the Council's security force hired them as shock troopers. Their presence was a message: we are the top of the food chain. Until Earthlings arrived. It began, as many galactic legends do, with a signal. An unremarkable frequency beamed from a pale blue dot on the outer spiral of the Milky Way. At first, it was background chatter. Music, language, primitive digital noise. The Council flagged it, then forgot about it. A few hundred cycles later, humanity cracked faster than light travel. That got everyone's attention. First contact, Terran borderline aggression. The Council sent an ambassadorial fleet to establish diplomatic contact. As a precaution, they attached a Gorhak peacekeeper squad. Not because they expected war, but because it was standard protocol when contacting new death worlds. Earth's classification had raised eyebrows. A gravity of 1G was manageable, but the combination of atmospheric volatility, seismic activity, rogue apex predators, and pathogen diversity put it in the top tier. Not to mention, humans had terraformed their own biosphere with industry, turned their oceans into waste bins, and still thrived. The first meeting was in orbit above Mars, where a Terran defense frigate awaited. From the moment the Gorhak soldiers saw the human commander, things turned uneasy. She wore no armor, no exosuit. Just a dark navy uniform, a stiff collar, and twin bars on her shoulders. She strode into the docking bay like gravity bent for her convenience. "Commander Reyna Cole," she said. "Welcome to Terran space. Your weapons will remain holstered during this exchange." A Gorhak soldier stepped forward, towering over her, mandibles twitching. "We are peacekeepers," he hissed. "We do not holster. We neutralize threats." Cole didn't blink. "Then let's hope you don't mistake humanity for one." Council reports. Uncanny resilience. After that first contact, stories began to spread. Earthlings were off. Strange. Physiology outside known norms. Psychology even worse. Their bodies were comparatively fragile. No claws, no carapace. Soft tissue everywhere. Yet they kept surviving encounters no other race could. A Valkyrie war pack cornered a group of Terran scouts on Zalos Prime. The humans didn't run. They didn't hide. They charged. The Valkyrie died to blunt weapons and improvised explosives. One human reportedly kept fighting after losing a leg, bleeding out and laughing as he crawled into cover, still firing. Council xenobiologists dissected captured human DNA and found anomalies. Overdeveloped adrenal systems, pain tolerance boosters, immune system redundancy, even empathy, which they theorized was a predatory manipulation strategy. But the worst came from their minds. Unlike other predators, humans didn't fear death. Not like others did. They calculated it. Psychological warfare on Ursale. It was on Ursale that the myth of the human psyche truly embedded itself into galactic lore. A mining colony was under siege by Xeraxi raiders, six-limbed, chitin-armored marauders that specialized in psychological torment. For weeks, they broadcast fear waves and starvation signals. The colonists, mostly scientists, were expected to surrender. Instead, the Terrans jammed the fear wave. Then they played music. Not just any music. Heavy metal, a genre of Earth's sonic weaponry considered psychologically destabilizing even to humans. When the Xeraxi broke through the colony's perimeter, they didn't find whimpering prey. They found humans in body paint, chanting, laughing, brandishing chainsaws and blowtorches. The humans had set traps using their own dead as decoys. The Xeraxi fled. The event was classified as an existential psychological inversion. Council records would later label it the UR madness. Council emergency session. What are they? The Grand Council convened an emergency session. They are not logical, argued the Ilari diplomat. They do not fight for territory. They fight because they enjoy it. They train in artificial environments that simulate death, added a Gorhak admiral. They call them video games. Some of their youth, mere hatchlings, simulate alien invasions for fun. The Deathworlders were silent. For the first time in cycles, the galaxy's strongest predators didn't know where they stood. A single video leaked from Earth's broadcast archive shattered what remained of their supremacy. A human child, no more than 10 cycles old, holding a venomous serpent in one hand, giving it a name and smiling. They domesticate apex predators, whispered the Varkari warlord. For companionship. Operation Red Soil. Council High Command finally authorized an elite Deathworlder task force to assess the threat level of humanity. A non-aggressive encounter. Secretly, they hoped to intimidate the Terrans into compliance. They landed in Siberia during Earth's winter. Within 10 minutes, 2 Gorhak froze solid. 1 Varkari broke an ankle trying to chase a wild moose. The humans who greeted them were not soldiers. They were loggers, bundled in thick clothing, laughing at the newcomers like they were guests at a bar. They offered vodka. Within an hour, 1 Deathworlder passed out from intoxication. Another was engaged in a snowball fight with giggling children. The Varkari wrote in his report, "They endure pain and cold as sport. Their infants taunt us with icy missiles. Their alcohol burns like rocket fuel. And still they laugh." The final realization. The apex lie. The myth of Deathworlders as apex predators began to crumble, not because humans were stronger, faster, or even more advanced. It was something else. They adapted. Where other Deathworlders evolved with their world, humans challenged theirs. Tamed it. Changed it. Then built ships to tame others. They made war into culture. Pain into training. Death into meaning. And they weren't the strongest species because they had to be. They chose to be. When asked during a diplomatic gala why humanity didn't fear Deathworlders, Commander Cole answered with a smile. "You think you're apex predators?" she said, sipping Terran whiskey. "We invented weapons that split atoms. We taught ourselves to breathe underwater. We went to war with the planet's deadliest species, ourselves, and survived." She set the glass down. "We're not the top of the food chain because Earth made us strong. We're there because we refuse to be weak." Epilogue. Redefining the apex. Today, humanity holds a permanent seat on the Galactic Council, not as subordinates, but as equals. Not feared, but deeply respected. Deathworlders no longer walk with unchallenged pride. Many have joined with human-led operations, curious to learn what drives them, what fire they hold. And in backwater cantinas across the stars, the story is whispered. They thought they were the top until Earthlings arrived.
T.